What is up, guys? This is Kyurem from the Trinity of Lift, and today I'm bringing all of you guys another kind of different video in the form that we will be actually doing some ClownBlade Shaddoll test handing today. Now, with that Madochi test hand video and combo tutorial video actually doing fairly well, and a lot of you guys expressed that you guys really did like that kind of video, I decided to actually give it a shot to try that kind of video with ClownBlade Shaddoll, because of course that is probably my primary deck as of right now, just because it is my meta deck. So I had it built up and I just decided, hey, let's try to do some test hands with it today and just bring those test hands to all of you guys in front of the camera. So of course, this is ClownBlade Shaddoll, so as all of you guys probably have seen, or at least hoping you have seen, this is a variant of Shaddoll that has basically mixed the ClownBlade engine with the Shaddoll deck. So basically, it's trying to make all the explosive fusion plays, as well as all of those explosive rank 4 plays that ClownBlade can do, and just try and put them into one deck at the same time. If you guys did not see the deck profile for this deck, I highly recommend checking it out. I probably will be linking it into the in the description down below for all of you guys to also watch if you didn't watch. So again, just so you guys can get kind of like a little premise of what this deck is made out of. So just to be laying down a little bit of a guideline for all of you guys, I will be drawing 6 cards for whenever I do draw my test hands, for the fact that whenever I usually play this deck, I will be trying to go second, just because of the fact that this deck really wants to have that 6 card to be as optimal as it possibly can, as well as because of the fact that we do not have any traps per se, or we do run a few traps, but the fact is that we do not run a good amount of them. So going first really isn't necessary to try and set up a defense, again, because we do not run many traps. So again, I will be drawing 6 cards for all of my test hands for all of you guys today. And I also will be trying to lay out a little challenge for myself. Now, because I'm going second, I will have the first opportunity to attack, technically. So for each one of my test hands, I will give myself 2 turns to make the absolute biggest possible board, or the biggest damaging board, I should say, as possible. And then just to kind of give you guys a degree of how explosive this deck could be. So let's start off. So we're gonna have the 5 cards, of course, like I said, and then the 6 card right there. I'm sorry that the Grave deck and Banish Pile will be off frame, just because of the fact that my camera can only get such wide of an angle. So whenever I say something is in the grave or something is getting banished, I just hope you guys believe me and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's see our top 6 cards. So I'm not gonna lie, we opened subpar. I don't want to say we opened very optimally. The fact that we opened Vanity's Emptiness in our turn is actually not that good, because of the fact that, again, we do not want to see our traps per se, or at least we don't want to see Emptiness too early. We want to see it more or less in the later game. But I won't say that this hand is unplayable. We did open Mathematician, and I will say that Mathematician actually has quite a bit of value in this deck now, because of all the things that it can send with this deck. So of course, this is still a fairly awkward hand. The fact that we drew into 1,000 Blades is also pretty weird, because again, this is a one of that we really don't want to draw into per se. But again, I don't think it is unplayable. So we're just going to start off with summoning the Mathematician, activating his effect to dump a level 4 or lower monster from our deck to our grave. And so what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go for a little bit of deck thinning, as well as to get me cards that I want to see. So we're probably going to send the Shaddoll Squamata first, triggering said Squamata to send another Shaddoll from our deck to our grave. And that Shaddoll is actually going to be Shaddoll Hedgehog, because of the fact that, as you guys probably saw in the opening hand, we do not have a Shaddoll to pair alongside our Shaddoll Fusion that we did actually have in our hand. So I do want to get the Hedgehog into my hand right now, just so I can, excuse me, not the Hedgehog, but I want to send the Hedgehog so I can get that Shaddoll into my hand right now, so again, I can make that fusion play. So we will be sending Hedgehog, and we're probably going to be adding Shadow Beast, just to add, again, some more deck thinning and to just help us dig through our deck as fast as we possibly can. So we'll shuffle up really quick here. Then from here, again, like I said, we're trying to make the biggest board possible, assuming that our Effect Veiler isn't as necessary right now as it probably can be. We're going to shut off Fusion, and we're going to use the Effect Veiler and the Shadow Beast. So we're going to make El Shaddoll and the Nephilim right here. And then, of course, we're going to have to trigger our Nephilim and our Beast effects. So I will be activating Nephilim as chain 2, and then we're going to do the Beast as chain 1, because we do not want to draw into whatever we're going to intend to send with Nephilim. So with Nephilim, we are probably going to send a Falco, because that is one of the few Shaddolls we didn't use yet. Again, because of the fact that we're test handing, we really won't be wanting to send Dragon, because again, we really don't know what our opponent's board might technically be. So in lieu of that, we're going to be sending the Shadow Falco for this. And then, of course, after this, we will be drawing for that Shaddoll Beast and then starting that Shaddoll Falco effect in a new chain. So, of course, we will draw for the Beast right now, which will be a Performance Damage Juggler, which is actually not that bad at all. And then we'll be setting the Falco right now for that effect. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that will be the end of our turn 1. We're also going to set the Emptiness just in case, and then probably pass turn to our opponent. I feel that this is a fairly not standard, but I will say that this is a fairly strong board to have, where we can actually probably just flip Emptiness behind it and see if our opponent can out it. Although the fact that Mathematician is fairly small might be a little bit of a hindrance, but again, having the big floodgate of Emptiness behind this fairly large board is also pretty nice. So this will be our ending turn 1 board, which is, I won't say bad, but in my opinion, it could be a lot better. So we will see what we'll draw into our second turn, which again, like I said, will be our last turn for this specific test hand. We will draw into Performance Trick Clown. Now that's actually fairly interesting because of the fact that we actually really can't set up the Thousand Blades or the Thousand Blades Trick Clown combo right now because of the fact that, again, we did draw into Thousand Blades. But I will see what I can do in right now in my thought process. So again, we do have the Raigeki. So assuming our opponent made some sort of established board, again, in front of our board, we can actually just Raigeki the board to get rid of all this stuff and try and go for the last game-ending damage right now. So we're going to assume we're actually going to activate Raigeki right now. So we're going to activate that Raigeki. And then from here, what we're probably going to be doing is flipping that Shaddoll Falco, activating the effect, targeting the Shaddoll Beast, which is, again, the fairly standard target for all the Shaddoll Falco effects. Reset this. And then from there, we do have a couple of options. Now, we can actually try and summon the Damage Juggler right now to make a Goyo Guardian with Falco and Damage Juggler, and then be able to use Damage Juggler's effect to search out another Performance. But the fact is that we are already eating our normal summon for that, so as of right now, there isn't really a cool thing that we could do. Actually, I just realized something pretty cool that we can actually do. Assuming that these two attacks connected last turn, I actually have a play right now in mind that can actually get us not into gaming reach, or we're not going to be able to finish off the game, but it actually will be a really strong play that actually will be really cool. So just watch what I'm about to do. And in my opinion, I think again this is the correct play, assuming our opponent has some kind of board. So we will be summoning the Damage Juggler, like I said. Then, again, because whenever Damage Juggler is in the grave, we can banish it to just search another Performance, but as of right now, that isn't going to be the primary intent. We're actually going to use Falco Mathematician and the Damage Juggler to actually sync her up. If you guys probably can't guess, that is level 9. So, again, as you guys can probably guess, you guys probably will be coming out. We will be summoning the Trishula right now. Now, of course, we are committing 3 cards to 1 card right now, so hoping that Trishula doesn't get Veiler or Breakthrough or Fiendish Changer or whatever. We will be using Trishula's effect to just neg our opponent 2+1 that they're going to drop from the graveyard, which in my opinion is really strong, again, because Trishula is unbanned now, so we should run Trishula. So we will be using Trishula's effect to hopefully banish our opponent's board and just getting us some free disadvantage for our opponent. Then, now that Damage Juggler is in our graveyard, we can banish this one again. And we will be searching the Performance Hat Tricker right now. Now, you could go on a whim and special summon the Hat Tricker right now, but the fact is that it only has 1100 attack, and I feel that it really isn't necessary to special summon right now. I probably will be waiting for turn 3 to actually just normal summon Clown and then special Hat Trigger over it, so that we can actually make Performance Trapeze Magician with this. But just because of the fact that we can't use it right now, just because we did burn our normal summon for Damage Juggler. So probably this is going to be the hand that we will be ending with on this turn 2, and this will be the board that we have. Of course, all backed by Emptiness, technically. So as of right now, this first test hand was actually not bad. The turn 2, we did have the option to make Trishula, which of course by himself is a really strong play. So in my opinion, that test hand actually it started off fairly awkward, but it was fairly playable, and in my opinion, it wasn't too bad. So that was test hand number 1, and I will say that again, it was pretty decent. Let's see if we can open even better. I want to try and see if we can actually make a board where we can OTK in the very first turn that we have access to. So yeah, let's go shuffle up our deck and try that again. Because I'm not going to lie, this deck is still fairly fun. Like, if you guys actually have your own Shaddoll deck, I would highly recommend testing this version out. Just because of the fact that, as I have been for the past couple of months, I have been the biggest advocate of the Star Seraph Shaddoll deck. But after playing this new Performance Trick Clown, or excuse me, this Performance kind of ClownBlade Shaddoll version, I actually have been more or less advocating this brand new version now, just because in my opinion it's way more consistent, and in my opinion it's probably way better because you have access to other better cards, I guess you could say, rather than those other awkwardish ones that the Star Sifts gave you access to. So again, we will be opening with our 6 cards because we will be hoping to go second, and again we will see what we got. So we got, now this is a very interesting hand because of the fact that we actually did open pretty optimally. The fact that whenever we do open a Mathematician and a Fusion of any sort actually can just lead you into some really strong plays, because of the fact that Mathematician can dump you either a Shaddoll or a Performance Damage Juggler to get you a Light Monster. So basically we can always use Mathematician to get any fusion material that we might need at any given time, which is really cool. And again, like I said, it gives Mathematician a lot more value within this specific version of the deck. Now again, looking at our hand, we actually also did open the Trick Clown. So now that I think about it, I'm actually going to try and set up a ClownBlade combo for this hand, actually, because again, that can actually put in a lot of damage. So we will be normal summoning the Mathematician again, activating his effect, and this time we are actually going to send the the Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades to the graveyard. Again, thank God, because of the fact that we did not draw into him, as we do not ever want to really. Oh, see, look, we would have drawn into him if we just basically passed turn. Oh my God. So yeah, we will be dumping the 1 of 1000 Blades to the graveyard now. And then now again, because we did open with the El Shaddoll Fusion, we will be activating that right here. We will be using the Shadow Beast and the Performance Trick Clown to special summon our El Shaddoll Nephilim. Now, I will also mention something pretty important. If you're ever using Performance Trick Clown to make a fusion summon, you always have to chain this as Chain Link 1, because of the fact that if Performance Trick Clown is chained as anything else except Chain Link 1, the Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades will actually miss timing, because of the fact that it is a when statement to actually special summon himself by after you have taken damage. So because of that, if you were to Chain Link this as maybe like Chain Link 2, say, the last thing that would technically resolve would be probably the Shaddoll Beast. And because of the fact that, again, this is the last thing to resolve, Thousand Blades misses its opportunity to activate, because the last thing to resolve was not an effect that would make you take damage. It would have been the activation of the Shaddoll Beast. So again, you wouldn't be able to actually summon the Thousand Blades. So again, a little tip for if you guys actually do decide to pick up this deck, make sure to always chain the Clown as Chain Link 1. So in light of that, we're actually going to be using our Nephilim to be Chain 3, Beast to be Chain 2, and then the Clown to be Chain 1. So again, we will be pushing a Shaddoll from our deck for El Shaddoll Nephilim, and that probably will be a Shaddoll Schemata just for that extra deck thinning. Then we will shuffle up and draw for our Shaddoll Beast. Hopefully we will draw something really good. And we drew the Shaddoll Hedgehog, which is alright. And then we will be specialing the Performance Trick Clown. And we'll, of course, be burning ourselves for 1000. Now, the next game that will be happening will be, of course, between the Shaddoll Schemata and the Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades. Because of the fact that the last thing that would have happened is the Trick Clown, Heroic Challenger 1000 Blades would automatically have its activation condition met first. So we will be activating this as Chain Link 1. And because Shaddoll Schemata was sent afterwards, it will be Chain Link 2. So, of course, we will be doing the Chain Link 2 of Schemata and the Chain Link 1 of, 1000 Blades. Ugh, cannot speak right now. Okay. So with the Schemata, we probably will be sending a Shaddoll Falco, just again to get some more board presence, and again to just get our Falcos out of our deck and to be using them to again allocate our resources properly. So we'll be sending the Shaddoll Falco, and then we will be special summoning the 1000 Blades. So again, we will be special summoning the 1000 Blades off of his effect, and then we will be using Shaddoll Falco to reset itself. So again, in my opinion, this is a fairly strong board to open with. Now, in my opinion, we could make a rank 4 in this point in time, but the fact is that we will be actually losing the biggest benefit of ClownBlade, which is recurring recurring resources to keep making rank 4s, as Trick Clown can only be used once per turn, and we already did actually use it this turn again to just, we already used it by fusing it away and then special summoning it again to trigger this whole ClownBlade combo. So if we were to detach ClownBlade somehow and send it to the grave again this specific turn, we actually wouldn't be able to do the ClownBlade combo at all because of the fact that Trick Clown already has activated. So the 1000 Blades also wouldn't be moved again because we are triggering it off of a ClownBlade. But regardless, we're actually still going to make a rank 4. Now, probably what I would actually do would be actually to make Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon over it, just because he is still fairly large without activating his effect, as 2500 still is fairly relevant. So probably what I'm going to do is I'll just be probably making the XZ's Dragon over the ClownBlade combo monsters, and just sitting on it for now. Because again, you have to think, if Dark Rebellion gets destroyed somehow, the materials will still go to grave, and again, that will again subsequently trigger both the effects, eventually getting them right back, so again we can have another rank 4 play setup next turn. But again, like I said, Dark Rebellion is probably the best monster to sit on over the ClownBlade combo when we do not want to activate it. So again, we will be doing that here. And again, as turn 2, this is a very large board actually. And again, we did end up with an entire +1 in card economy because of the fact that we did also have the Mathematician. So we do have access to these 7 cards, the 4 cards on the field and the 3 in the hand. So that will be our turn 1, and then we will see what we drew into for turn 2. So we draw, and we got a performance damage juggler. But that's actually pretty cool because of the fact that, again, we have more fusion fodder that we can use that actually can make our fusion plays go for +1s, which is really strong. Now, probably what we're going to do, we'll be flipping that Shaddoll Falco, activating his effect. We are going to be special summoning the Shaddoll Beast right here, face down in defense position, thanks to that Shaddoll Falco. We will be synchroing up for a level 10 right now. And we will be making the Leo, which again is really strong against things like Burning Abyss and whatnot, who have a lot of targeting effects. So having the Leo for those matchups is also really nice. Again, with that Synchro Summon, we will be triggering our El Shaddoll Nephilim to add the El Shaddoll fusion back from our graveyard to our hand. And then from there, we pretty much have a game board. Like, in all honesty, this is a very strong board. Again, like, we always can consistently OTK with this deck in turn 2, or at least make big boards where we can always threaten our opponent with damage. So probably what I will be doing actually right now will be normal summoning the Mathematician, activating his effect. We will be probably okay, now this is actually the point where I'm going to be saying I'm going to send a Shaddoll Dragon. Assuming our opponent might have relevant back row, we are going to try and clear the way again because this is a very, very strong OTK-ish kind of board. So we will assume that our opponent has one relevant back row that we might want to kill, so we will be sending Shaddoll Dragon to destroy it. And then from there, of course, basically we can just attack El Shaddoll Fusion into something maybe like a Shekinaga or a Winda. No, maybe we'll probably making a window right here. Make the window to add some extra floodgatiness to our board, and then attack with the window again for the finishing blow, pretty much. So that will be our second test hand, and of course, again, like I said, you guys can probably see how explosive this deck can be when it goes second, or at least when it has the cards it needs to operate, basically. Again, opening Mathematician in this deck is very, very strong, again, just because of the fact that he can actually just grab you a lot of different plays to get you exactly where you need to be, which is really, really cool. So we will be, I guess, cleaning up, putting away our cards back to where they belong, back in the extra deck and all that kind of stuff. We will be shuffling up, and I believe we have enough time to make one extra test hand again for all of you guys to enjoy. So we will be shuffling our deck yet again, hoping for another really strong test hand. Again, like I said, another benefit of this deck too is that while the Star Seraph Shaddoll version of this deck was fairly strong, it also lacked a little bit of consistency just because of the fact that you cannot have good ways of consistently getting the Star Seraph combo without drawing into it. So with this deck, it's really cool because of the fact that you don't need to necessarily draw into it. Draw into your combo pieces anyway, as that's what Mathematician is for, as Mathematician, again, can set you up exactly where you need to be pretty much every time you do successfully resolve his effect. So again, that's why I am very much loving this new version of Shaddolls, and this will probably be my version to use for the next few weeks at least. So we will see what we open for our test hand number 3. So this hand is different, I guess you could say. The fact that we didn't open any sort of Shaddoll Fusion makes it a little bit difficult and a little bit more slow because of the fact that, again, we do not have some easy, simple way to grab our fusion and do stuff with it. So, however, looking by it, we do have Foolish Burial, so we do have access to other cards that we might need, as well as we open the Trickle and the Damage Juggler, so that's also pretty interesting. Now, what I'm thinking we could possibly do right now is we could set up a ClownBlade play. But the fact is we do not have easy access to Performance Hat Tricker right now. So again, that might be a little bit awkward. Now, probably what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to probably use Foolish Burial to try and dig through our deck with Shaddoll Beast, for the fact that, again, this hand is fairly awkward, as, again, we didn't open a fusion. Although we did open Emptiness and Raigeki, but, again, that won't really help because of the fact that we do not have a big damage output kind of hand right now. So, again, I do feel that probably trying to dig through our deck with Foolish is probably the best way to go, to, again, try and get that good card to make our hand a little bit better. So we will be activating the Foolish Burial right now. We will be sending a Shaddoll Squatta for that extra deck thinning, and then we will be subsequently sending a Shaddoll Beast with it. So we will be hoping for that Beast to grab us a fairly strong monster or fairly strong fusion spell from our deck. Again, so that hopefully we can have a slightly better hand. So we will be drawing for that Shaddoll Beast right now, and we drew Soul Charge. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit weird. Now, we did draw Soul Charge, and this is what our graveyard will be looking like right now. So we actually could make a fairly cool play in the form of making a Trapeze Magician to attack twice. And that in and of itself will be 5,000 damage. But the fact is that this will leave our board completely open if we do decide to make this play. And again, just because of how aggro some of the decks are nowadays, I really don't feel like that's a very good option. So, probably what I'm going to try and do is we're going to set the Damage Juggler. Probably. Yeah, we're going to probably set the Damage Juggler, try and not show our opponent what we are playing, set the Emptiness, and say go. Again, this is a fairly awkward hand. We didn't open Mathematician or a Shaddoll Fusion of any sort. So again, sometimes when you do brick into these awkward hands, this will be kind of like the field that you probably will be expecting. Like a set monster, either a Performage or a Shaddoll, and maybe one setbacker or something. So again, this will be our fairly lackluster turn 1. So we will see what we're going to draw for turn 2, which hopefully, again, will be a Shaddoll Fusion or maybe a Mathematician. So we did draw there he is. We did draw a Mathematician. Okay, so this makes our hand pretty cool. Now, what we can do is actually normal summon the Mathematician, and we will be able to send a Damage Juggler to our grave. And we will be flex summoning the Damage Juggler first, and then we will be normal summoning the Mathematician. Now, again, like I said, we will be having to think about what we can play here, as there aren't a lot of options, again, because we do not have the Shaddoll Fusion to get our Trick Clown out of our hand or use our Shaddoll Squatta effectively. So, as of right now, what we're probably going to be doing is activating Mathematician, and we're going to be sending a Performance Damage Juggler from our deck to our grave. Again, we do run 3 copies of that card. Actually, wait, excuse me. Actually, I have a better idea. We are not going to send the Damage Juggler. I guess this could be a little bit greedy, and it could be a little bit of my personal ideas, but we will be sending, actually, wait, hang on. Oh, excuse me, we gotta make Trishula. See, look, whenever I have Trishula, I always want to try and make it. I was thinking we could make this, and this. That would make Trishula, but I couldn't math. This is a level 8. This is not a level 9. Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, we will be doing the original play of sending the Performance Damage Juggler to our graveyard. We will not be sending Global because that is not a Trishula play. Oh my god. I can't believe that happened. Oh well. So, from here we will be banishing that Performance Damage Juggler from our graveyard to search out our Performance Hat Tricker. So, we will use Hat Tricker as more or less a free level 4 that we can actually easily special summon right now. As whenever there are 2 or more monsters on the field, that includes both your field and your opponent's field, you can actually just special summon Hat Tricker from your hand for free. So, that's also pretty cool, and again, it helps us get into your rank 4 plays. So, we will be doing that right now. We will be having the Hat Tricker in our hand now because of the Damage Juggler we banished from grave. We will be special summoning the Hat Tricker from our hand. And then probably from there, I'm not going to lie, we probably will have to do the Trapeze Magician combo just because of the fact that, again, we want to try and push for as much damage as we possibly can. So, we will be overlaying right now for a rank 4. And then we will be breaking out the Performance Trapeze Magician right here. Again, this is a fairly awkward play, but again, because of the fact that we do actually have another monster accompanied by the Damage Juggler now, I feel that I can be a little bit more comfortable going into the Trapeze Magician and killing itself basically to get that 5,000 damage in. So again, we will Raigeki here just to ensure that our damage will be going through. We will be activating the Trapeze Magician, detaching the Damage Juggler specifically so we can get that search off after this, targeting Trapeze Magician himself, and then we will be attacking twice for 5,000 and then another 15 to make it 65 damage total. Now, at the end of the battle phase, we will be destroying our Trapeze Magician by his own effect, because whatever monster was targeted by Trapeze Magician's effect to attack twice at the end of the battle phase, it is destroyed. So, our Trapeze Magician is destroyed, but the cool thing is that he actually can float into another Performage monster from our deck. So we actually will be doing that right now. And what we will be doing is we will be actually summoning a Performance Trick Clown from our deck in face of defense position. And then probably from here, actually, I'm going to have to triple check if Damage Juggler is only once per turn. Huh. Yeah, it's only once per turn. That kind of sucks because of the fact that I was thinking we could banish our second Damage Juggler from our graveyard to add a Hat Tricker to our hand. But again, oh well. So with that, this is actually going to be our ending board for our turn 2 of this test hand. I know it was fairly subpar, as again, we didn't open any sort of fusion spell at all. And let me guess, the next draw. Oh yeah, it would have been a Shaddoll Hedgehog, which would have grabbed us a Shaddoll fusion. But again, sometimes even though you might seem like you bricked, you still can have a fairly playable hand like this, again, because we did actually push for 6,500 damage in our turn 2, even though, again, we did have a fairly weird hand to start off with. So again, it kind of just shows how diverse, I guess you could say, this deck is, and how strong of a card Mathematician now is in this deck. So again, I just hope I did actually convey how well this deck does run to all of you guys today in those couples of test hands. I will be calling it off here just because I just saw that the camera went to 25 minutes straight. So because of that, I don't want to go into half an hour because that would be kind of ridiculous. But again, I hope you all very much did enjoy this ClownBlade test handing video. Again, if you did like this kind of video, make sure to let me know down in the comments section below what you guys think, as well as maybe some other decks that you might want to see in the future that to be made in this kind of video. So again, as always, this is Kyurem from the Trinity of Lift, and I'll see all of you guys later. Peace out.